Welcome. I'm Erica Lemke from the University of Missouri, and I'm really excited to talk to you and present this module on progress monitoring and reading. We have several objectives we're going to cover during our time together. The first, we're going to be really talking about the importance of DBI, or data-based instruction and reading. So we'll provide an overview of DBI. Second, we're going to talk about a really critical component of DBI, which is curriculum-based measurement, or CBM. We'll discuss how to administer and score those CBM measures in reading. Third, we're going to talk about how to take that data, determine a student's present level of performance, and then actually set goals for a student using that initial data. Part 4, this is probably arguably one of the most important pieces. We're going to talk about and think about how to use that data to make instructional decisions. And finally, we'll put it all together in a couple of case study activities at the end, and we hope that you'll be able to take that data and use it to take this information and use it with your own student data. So to break this down a little bit more, in part 1, we're really going to think about how that DBI, or data-based instruction process, applies to reading. You might have been using DBI in other areas like mathematics or writing. The process is generally the same, the framework, but we're really going to talk today about how that process works in reading. In part 2, we're going to be really digging into those CBMs, or curriculum-based measurements. We're going to be talking about what those are, how to select an appropriate CBM in reading, and then we're going to talk about how to administer and score those. We'll actually watch a video of someone administering a CBM to a student. Finally, we're going to talk about how those CBM assessments work in a progress monitoring routine. In part 3, we're going to take that data a little bit further and talk about how we determine a baseline starting point and how to set goals for your students using CBM data. Those goals can be used eventually for if you're working on IEPs for students, so they have a lot of utility both for just individual student progress monitoring, but also IEP development. In part 4, we're going to talk about how to take that data that you've been using and use it to make instructional decisions. So we'll be answering questions like, are students responding to instruction? Are they meeting the short and long-term goals you've set? Are they progressing at an acceptable rate? And do we need to change instruction or make modifications? We may even talk a little bit about, do we need to raise the goal for students because they're doing so well? And then finally, in part 5, we're going to talk about how to combine all of these components to really help us make better decisions about how students are moving forward in their instruction and intervention, and if we need to make changes. Overall, all of this information should really help you think about and continue implementing DBI in reading if you're already doing some of that, or it'll help you to get started in implementation of DBI in reading, a really important and evidence-based practice for students.